With most European leaders and the United States as well, so very resistant to any type of war after the Great War or World War One, we see this action taken called appeasement. This is the policy of attempting to please an aggressor. We see that with the Kellogg-Briand Pact, which was passed in the 1920s. The Kellogg-Briand Pact, if you remember, was a policy that attempted to outlaw war. Unfortunately, it was very unsuccessful. There was no real enforcement behind it. The Hoover-Simpson doctrine was very similar in that it just refused to recognize any land taken by force. This would have applied to Japan and the taking of Manchuria and attacking China, and also Germany and some of their taking of various lands in Europe. Unfortunately, again, there was no real consequence to those actions. When Germany began to rebuild their military in direct violation of the Treaty of Versailles that ended the Great War, there was no real action taken. When Germany argued that the Rhineland should be taken by them and making it part of Germany because they were ethnically German and they were German speaking people, there was no real argument made against it. When Germany then wanted to unite with Austria for the same reason, it was at that point that European leaders, the leaders of Great Britain and France, decided to come together at what was called the Munich Peace Conference. At this peace conference, they agreed to allow Hitler to take one more piece of land called the Sudetenland in order that he would then stop his expansion. Hitler had no intention, however, of keeping that agreement, and the United States once again remained neutral. We see this continuation of appeasement when Japan invaded China in 1937 and no action was taken by Europe or the United States, when Germany annexed or took over Austria in 1938 and then Czechoslovakia in the same year. Germany and Russia made a very big surprise agreement called the Non-Aggression Pact. This was signed between the USSR and Germany, where they agreed to take no military action for the next 10 years. Now, the reason behind this was that Stalin saw this as a way to try to keep peace with Germany and others while he was able to build up his military. Hitler, on the other hand, saw this as a way to make sure that he could invade Poland unopposed, with no threat from the Soviet Union. We will see this agreement break down when the Nazis are going to invade the Soviet Union. Now, they also secretly, as a part of that treaty, they also secretly agreed that they would divide up Eastern Europe later after this whole war was over, or after all of the turmoil was over. But again, this treaty does break down later when Hitler invades the Soviet Union. War will officially begin, and here's what is important. It officially begins when Germany attacked Poland on September 1st, 1939. When Germany invades Poland, France and Great Britain or England are going to declare war on Germany.